Recently, we've shared a couple episodes about steps in the release process. I call it the release process. It's similar to regenerative ag that farmers use, but as a food plot farmer, there's some advantages. Although deer are eating, we're not harvesting all the crop and taking it off like a hay crop or a combine. So we can grow more biomass and improve the soil's quality faster because we're not removing nutrients like giant loads around bales of hay leaving here. It's all right here, right? Or grain carts leaving. We've shared about how we plant and how we terminate this with a crimper. I want to bring that together a bit and talk about the cost and time savings of using the release process. One of the ways I save time is by using a roller crimper rather than herbicide. Now they're both one pass, right? You spray it, you're gonna nuke everything out here, or you roller crimp, you're gonna kill almost everything out here. But let's think about it. The roller crimper is right over the hill here by the well house, and if I had to get herbicide, I had to go purchase it this year, which literally, it's kind of hard to find and cost about twice what it cost this same time last year. So that's a big time savings, not driving to town, not stopping every 5-10 acres, depending on your sprayer size, and filling it up and getting it all over you, getting messy, spilling too much on the ground. I just literally put the roller crimper on and take off, and when I'm done, it's done. Roller crimper, of course, saves me again because I didn't need to apply a fertilizer, and we've showed you our soil test results. They were by the folks at the Ward Lab, said they're amazing. I think that was a quote, you know, they're really good. All this mulch laying on the ground is just gonna decompose as it gets moist and starts decomposing, and those nutrients are going into the soil. And even better than that, because I haven't disturbed the soil, those roots are in place, they're decomposing, and they're feeding microbes. And microbes are a real secret. It's hard to talk about them because you can't see them, but the microbes or bacteria, they're making a commerce or a financial trade, if you will, with the plants you see growing. They're taking nutrients from the soil, NP and K, literally, and all the trace elements like sulfur and boron, molybdenum, whatever, and trading it with the plant for carbon. And I have these living plants making carbon, so they're making that exchange. So now I'm up to 2, right? I haven't had to mess with all the herbicide, purchasing it, spending money, getting it all over me. And I haven't had to spread fertilizer, which is really heavy. It's compacting the soil, causing soil compaction. I got to purchase it, and it's really expensive this year. And I took care of all that just by using this portion of the release process. So we talked about saving on herbicide and fertilizer, and there's actually a big time savings there. So now we have this time and money savings, just fewer passes, right? So if you're disking, you probably disc once, twice. Some people are recreational diskers, I call it. They pull that disc 3 or 4 times. They want to make everything just powder. I got to go over it again. Hey, I got a break. Let's go over it again. So that's not happening. I literally drug an no-till drill through here, drug my Genesis through here and planted. I planted green. All this stuff was standing. All this real tall stuff here was standing way up. And I waited a few days and I crimped, and I'm done until fall. And then I'm gonna take the Genesis again, I'm gonna calibrate it for my fall release blend, and I'm gonna plant right through that standing green summer crop. And let's think about this. I've got a crop that's good, it's suppressing most of the weeds. There's a weed or 2 out there, but not many. Deer are coming there every day. We're not that far before season starts. Now some of y'all are gonna disc that under or herbicide it, and you've done what I call cleaning the table. You've just said, hey, restaurant's closed. We're not serving you here. Why don't you go to your neighbors and eat, because we're taking all the food away. What I'm doing is I've got standing food, they're patterned. At that time of year, bucks are finishing velvet, maybe starting just to shed velvet, depending on what state you live and when hunting season starts. They're feeding every day, food cover, food cover. And I'm gonna say, hey, keep feeding here. Pardon me for a few minutes while I plant this field. And I'm drilling through that standing summer crop. The drill and the tractor tires is gonna knock down 50%, give or take, depending on what you got planted and, you know, all these factors. So I've still got food. My new crop is coming on while that standing crop is maturing. So maybe I had milo in there, it's making grain, it's gonna be here, and deer are switching and wanting carbohydrates on those colder days. and I've got my new greens coming on. It's the perfect food plot. I've saved time, I've saved money, and I've kept the deer feeding where I want them to feed. You know, while I'm thinking about asking Miss Tracy for more money, have you priced diesel fuel lately? Boy, fuel cost, even off-road diesel, is very high. When you only make 3 passes, and that's spring and late summer planting, you've went over the field 3 times total, that's a big fuel savings. So, you know, time, herbicide, fertilizer, fuel, these are all really important savings that help me do more wildlife projects on my property.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, Lacrosse Footwear, Moultrie Mobile, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, RTP Outdoors, Fourth Arrow, Hunt Stand, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Ward Laboratories, Burris Optics, National Land Realty, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
A few times a year I get those emails, hey, why don't you irrigate your food plots, or can I irrigate my food plot? I've got a 50-gallon tank on the back of my UTV, it's kind of dry, I'm gonna irrigate my food plot. Well, I can't irrigate here. I mean, my land's really steep, there's a well here at the house, there's no wells on the back of the property. I've got a different plan for providing soil moisture or irrigating, but let's think about this now. An inch of water, like an inch of rain, an inch of water covering an acre is about 22,000 gallons. How many trips are you filling up that 50-gallon tank for 22,000 gallons? Or I'm gonna drag a hose out there and put a sprinkler on. And mama gets the bill from, you know, city utilities or electric bill off your well and says, honey, it's 5 times normal. Well, I had to irrigate the food plot. That's probably not going well. Your hunting days may be limited that year. My way to irrigate is a couple of fold here. I've got this mulch. The sun hits it, it's light colored, like a white shirt or something. It bounces back. That keeps the soil from getting too warm. And when the soil's not warm, you don't have that evapotranspiration. You're not losing moisture to evaporation. That's key. Second, through this process and really the roots in the ground and the bacteria in the ground, I'm really increasing the organic matter. We just shared you the results with Ward Lab. They come here and we're just raving about how high our soil organic matter, SOM, was. Here's the secret on that. For about each 1% of soil organic matter, you can hold about an inch of moisture in the soil. So if yours is 5, you can hold 5 inches of moisture. You get that big toad strangler rain, well, here it's not running off, obviously it's just infiltrating in. We've shared with you infiltration test here, and I can hold inches of rain in an hour, not a day, an hour. It's just gonna go in and sit there in that organic matter. Then we get dry for 3 weeks. It's like a sponge, it's just sitting there. That's my irrigation. I didn't flip a switch, I didn't pay the electric bill, I didn't pay a diesel pump. I simply used the release process. I made 3 passes with my tractor. I plant in the spring, I crimp in the spring, I plant in the fall. Often I don't have to crimp in that late summer or fall planting. That's building organic matter, which holds moisture, which is my form of free irrigation. This is a brief summary of the 4 ways I save time and money by using the release process to plant and maintain my food plots. Not a lot of maintenance. I plant, I terminate, I plant again, and I harvest deer. You know, saving money and improving the soil's health, I call that a win-win. Bunch of y'all know my dad and I had a great relationship. I'm thinking about as we come up on Father's Day. Now, I lost my dad a few years ago and I think about him every day. But I realize not everyone has a great experience with their father. I'm a father now and I keep that in mind and work hard to develop that relationship. But as we celebrate Father's Day, it's important to remember that none of our fathers or me as a father are perfect. There's only one perfect father, and that's our Heavenly Father. So when you're taking time to celebrate your father this week, take some time also to reflect on your Heavenly Father. And of course, that's the best role model for us as dads. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Father's Day coming up. You know, I think about my dad, Pop Woods, almost every day of my life. Literally, I mean, he's gone. I think about him every day and where we hunted or lessons he taught me. And one of the lessons he taught me was anyone can say anything. Look for proof in the pudding. Look for results. I think these are pretty good results, but I got to tell you, this morning I had that little good test, you know. I was up early looking around. 3 bucks out there feeding. I was taking some pictures with my cell phone back there in the field, and they got up here, started videoing. Love seeing those velvet bucks. Love knowing they're eating healthy, quality forage, and it didn't cost me an arm and a leg to get it established. Understanding these natural processes, the way soil was really created to function, is a great way to learn more and enjoy creation. But even more important, I encourage you to take time every day to be quiet and seek the Creator's will for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.